Well, good morning. It's 7:45, KNEB News Extra, and I'm Dennis Ernest in for Kevin Mooney. We have a couple of guests with us this morning, and we'll get to Congressman Adrian Smith here in a few minutes. He's in town for a Farm Bill listening session, but right now our guest is Karen Anderson, who wears many hats in this community, but today here for Rotary. Good morning, Karen.
Yes, good morning. We have our Rotary Gold coming up March 24th, so we just want to get the word out to purchase your tickets. Our benefactor this year is the new museum. Their title is Two Museums, One Future, so it's for Farm and Ranch and North Platte Valley Museum. So get your tickets from the Rotary.
Very good. What is Rotary Gold? What does that mean?
Rotary Gold is probably the social event of the year. It's held at the Gering Civic Center, and the food is just awesome. We have beautiful decorations done by the tree house, and we have silent auction items. We have a raffle as well. We have a 94 Winchester 1967 commemorative rifle, so that will be one of the live auctions, and we have several wonderful silent auctions. So get your tickets from Rotarians or stop in at the chamber.
Okay, so Saturday evening, the 24th, at the Civic Center. What's your take on this museum coalition coming together?
I think it's a great thing for the future. It will be great for all generations to see what the history is in the valley, and it's a great merging, so it'll be just phenomenal.
And to put those efforts together into one.
Right. The whole community's come together, and it'll be great to watch it come together.
So again, Rotary Gold coming up on the 24th, and how do we get tickets again?
Talk to any Rotarian or stop in at the chamber. Tickets are $50 per person.
Okay. Can you do a table or a group setting?
We don't really have tables because it's kind of hors d'oeuvres and great food. So.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a fun evening, no matter who's up
right.
for the benefactors. So.
Right.
All right, Karen. Thanks for coming by and visiting with us.
Okay. Thanks, Dennis.
Okay, Karen Anderson visiting about the Rotary Gold annual fundraiser. We'll step aside, begin with Congressman Smith next.
With large, spacious rooms, a distinctively clear sound system, exhilarating images on 5 jumbo screens, high-speed video streaming, and monumental catering by the meat shop, you need to call West Nebraska's premier multifunction facility for your next business meeting. Call 436-6888 or visit us at www.geringciviccenter.com.
They're working on it.
Gering Civic Center. This is how satisfied feels.
Free lifetime membership when you come up with one. It is 7:48 KNEB. We've changed horses here, and we're going to visit now with Congressman Adrian Smith, Nebraska 3rd District Representative. Welcome home, traveler.
Oh, it's great to be home.
How often do you get home?
Well, probably a couple times a month. Oftentimes, I'm in Nebraska, but I don't get to come all the way home.
I was going to say, you don't get to Gering that often.
Right. Last weekend, though, I was in Nebraska, but no further west than Kearney.
Yeah.
So it's great to be home this weekend, and I'll make my way across the state later throughout the week.
So we're working on a farm bill, and that's what brings you to town today.
Right. We're having a listening session out at the Farm and Ranch Museum. This is an opportunity for me to hear from local producers. You know, some would say that there's not a lot of farm left in the farm bill, but there are still some very important components. You know, about 78% of the farm bill is actually the nutrition title. Food stamps, school lunches, and so that's where the dollars go, and especially in light of higher prices for our crops. So over the last few years, the commodity title has not been used as much, and it's basically a foregone conclusion that direct payments to farmers will not be a part of the next farm bill. So
that's done. It just isn't going to be around.
Right. There hasn't been a vote, but producers themselves, and I commend the producers for saying, you know what, we can do without the direct payments. And so that shrinks the commodity title even further. But there's the research title. There are other points of the Farm Bill that are very important. When you look at not only that research title, but our efforts across the ocean to build markets for our products. So that's an important component of the USDA in general. But certainly looking to the future, though, I think we can have a good Farm Bill.
With the higher commodity prices, of course, comes higher risk because, as we all know, everything else goes up with it. And the more consumption, the higher fertilizer is, and so on and so forth. So the risk is tremendous in agriculture. Yeah, there's been some great prices paid, but the risk is
Right. Well, crop
ratcheted up
insurance
as well. And so how does that component work?
Sure.
in this market?
Well, risk management is, I think, a very appropriate approach. If you look at the last few years and how crop insurance has been working with producer participation, actually you compare Farm Bill programs, and crop insurance probably gets the best rating. And so to focus on that. So we will have, I'm anxious to hear from producers themselves in terms of the shallow loss or deep loss crop insurance provisions. So I'm anxious to ask questions too, and see what producers have to say. But because I think the risk management approach is appropriate, and certainly it creates that two-way relationship. Instead of just waiting for a payment from USDA, this premium that is oftentimes paid for crop insurance, that's a good way to establish that management of risk.
If we can afford the premium, I guess that's the...
That's true. I mean, the crop insurance does use taxpayer dollars to make it affordable. So we'll work through that, but I think we can end up with a system that is probably better than what we have now, and is more geared to the future.
So people are saying we'll trade the direct payment dollar into maybe a better premium for the crop insurance?
I look for that to be part of the discussion. Certainly, I don't want to, crop insurance took quite a haircut over the last couple of years. So I don't want to make even deeper cuts as we are shifting away from direct payments. So there are a lot of good parts of crop insurance. Let's keep it that way. Let's not undermine it. And there's some interests that want to shift the crop insurance delivery basically out of the private sector. I like the fact that crop insurance is really managed and delivered, marketed, and serviced through the private sector. I think that's a healthy, and I think that's why it achieves some efficiencies actually. So I think we need to keep that.
And the trend in government, I would think, would be to keep things privatized, or at least.
Right. They previously, through the health care bill, the private sector was kicked out of the student loan industry, for example, and we don't know yet what that impact will be. But I do know that when the private sector came into the student loan industry, the numbers proved to be very good. I mean, the default rate went from over 20% down to about 5%, and that is really directly as a result of the private sector and the efficiencies that can be achieved in the private sector.
What else are you working on these days besides Farm Bill?
Boy, there's a lot on the plate. There's tax reform. Certainly in the Ways and Means Committee, that is one of our priorities. I can't say we'll get it done by the end of the year, but it's something we can make a lot of progress on just this year. And so you look at various other things, some trade issues coming up, the Trans-Pacific Partnership. I think one of the greatest achievements out of the last couple of years, actually last fall, were the 3 trade agreements. It was bipartisan in fashion, and this is an opportunity. Even the president indicated that he thinks that 250,000 new jobs will be created because of the 3 trade agreements with Colombia, Panama, South Korea. So moving forward, the administration has indicated their interest in this Trans-Pacific Partnership, TPP, another acronym for DC.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
But this trade agreement with multiple countries along the Pacific Rim, I think will be another opportunity for us. For example, Japan's interested in joining this effort, and this could be our opportunity to iron out these differences between the United States and Japan relating to the trade of beef. Because while we are able to get some beef into Japan, certainly the restrictions are not scientifically based with 30-month and younger only.